Well, hello everybody. I'm coming to you today from my RV that's parked on my daughter's farm in Cheyenne, Wyoming. And if anybody knows anything about Cheyenne, it's a high plains desert area where there's very little trees, almost no trees, and a lot of wind and a lot of dust. Today, luckily, we're having a little bit of rain that's going to help keep the dust down, heading into fall here. And I was going to do an outside video because it's so pretty. My daughter and her husband have these Scottish Highland cows. I look out my window right over here and I can see these long-haired Scottish Highland cows that are adorable. And they've got, let's see, 5 horses. One of them's mine. She's boarding my horse while I decide where I want to replant myself in the United States. And it's just beautiful out here. Big blue sky until the cat clouds rolled in. So it kind of put a little damper on what I plan to do for today. Sitting outside, being in touch with nature, which is where I love to be. That's where I feel like I'm at my best, my highest, and that's where messages come through for me from spirit. So I decided instead we're going to do inside. And so for people who think you can't do something because it's not the right time, you don't have enough space, blah, 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 I'm not thin enough, I'm not healthy enough, I need to learn more things, whatever it is, there is never a right time. The right time is now. If there's something you want to do, just do it now. Like I wanted to start this YouTube channel, but I was waiting really for me to find a house so I could set up my own space where I could work and not be bothered. But in reality, that might not happen for a long time. So I've put off this channel for, well, I've been thinking about it for a long time, for a few years. And the last year I was going to start it up, and I've just been putting it off, you know. Oh, I don't like the way I look. I don't like my hair. I don't like my wrinkles. I don't like that I gained like 50 pounds in the last few years and I can't get it off. But since I can't get it off, I'm not going to lose it anytime soon. So if I wait until I lose the weight, am I ever going to start the channel? No. So the right time is now. There's never the perfect timing. So if you want to do something, don't wait for the perfect timing. There's never going to be perfect timing. Just start now. Start now, baby steps, moving forward. As long as you're moving forward, you're getting somewhere. So anyway, what I wanted to talk about today, you know, I have all these life experiences that I want to share with you because I think I can help you get through a lot of stuff that I had to go through that took me 50 years to figure out. And I think I said once before, I wish I had a life coach that kind of guided me and kept me on point, because I would have learned life lessons much faster. So today, because I wasn't quite sure where I wanted to start, I decided I would let Spirit decide for whoever happens upon this video, what do they need to hear for today. So I've cleansed your space with some sage. I feel like I was, I don't know if everybody has different beliefs, but my beliefs is that we reincarnate on this earth, and earth is like a playground for learning life experiences for our souls to expand and grow. And I feel like I've been here before. And what I connect with a lot is Native American spirit, and I feel like I was a shaman or a medicine woman in a past life, because that's what I'm drawn to. So I got these great new Native Spirit Oracle cards, and then I have these Gratitude Oracle cards. So Oracle cards are a little bit different from Tarot. And, you know, Tarot will tell you what the upcoming future is for like the next week, few weeks, months, you know, up into the end of the year, stuff like that. But Oracle cards are more for what do you need to know right now? Little hints from the universe, a little bit of advice of what you need to know to get through whatever it is you're going through. So I'm going to shuffle up your cards, and we'll start with the Native Spirit cards. I love these cards. They're new, so they're a little bit swift to shuffle. Oh, but they're so pretty. Look at that. Can you see that? Oh, there we go, a little glare. Look at that sunshine back there. Oh, that makes me feel so happy. I think that's why I like it, because it's one thing fucking white people do wrong is we're so into technological advances, we forget what Mother Earth has to offer us. And I love American Indians, like the native tribes that, I mean, this was their land, and they took care of their land, Mother Earth, and they respected it, and then they got back in return from Mother Earth what they gave. And I feel like we as humans today, all over the planet, don't do that. But that's why I connect with the Native Spirit, the song, like what comes from your heart, you know, what resonates with you, what does Mother Earth bring to you to remind you of. So one more shuffle. Oh, nope, they want one more. All right, just a couple cards, Spirit. What is the collective that's going to come across this video and need to know today for the day they come across it? Don't want a lot of cards, just 1 or 2 cards, please. Just 1 or 2 cards. And these are really sticky and new, so it's hard getting the messages out. Oh yeah, but they got chatter. I can feel the chatter. I got stuff to tell you. Oh, look at that. Medicine woman, medicine man. Not for me, Spirit. I want it for the collective. Shapeshifter. One more. They're saying one more. All right. Ancient forest. Oh, one more flipped. Ego medicine. What all about medicine? I guess you all need a little bit of medicine talk today. What do you need to heal your hearts? Some people having some, whew, I feel like heavy in my heart. Like somebody needs something to heal their hurt here. Oh, medicine woman, medicine man. Let's take a look at that card. Whenever I get the cards, the first thing I do is look at it and what do I feel intuitively Spirit's trying to say to me? You know, is this sunrise or sunset here? Kind of looks like a sunset. And that's a medicine man or woman standing there watching the sunset. You know, another day is done. But beautiful energy from this card. That energy of knowing that I'm going to see you tomorrow. The sun's going to rise again tomorrow. It's the end of a day. Let's see what our book has to say. I'm not familiar with these cards, and they're very different from any other cards I've had. So, medicine, woman or man. Profound inner and outer healing is occurring. You're a natural healer. You're on the mend, or a situation is being resolved. Have faith that it's happening. You are a sacred healer. You are a medicine man or woman, medicine woman or medicine man of the soul. Your native spirit wants you to know every indigenous culture has a tradition of healers. Depending on the culture, they're called medicine men or medicine women, shamans, tohungas, kahunas, sangomas, or curanderos, among others. In every tradition, oh, I'm getting goosebumps because it's so funny because I started this out with, I resonate with these cards because I feel like I was a shaman in a past life or a medicine woman. In every tradition, they're the individuals who are able to step between worlds to gain information, wisdom, and healing energies from their spirit allies. When this card chooses you, you're at the advent of healing emotional, physical, and mental wounds. Additionally, a powerful healing force is activating within you. Oh, the journey. Nature is one of our greatest healers, so spend time with the trees, soak up the rays of the sun, and dance in the rain. Everything in nature has the intrinsic ability to restore itself. You're a part of the natural world, so you also have this innate ability. Often healing needs to occur on the inner planes before it can manifest on the outside. To assist this process, focus on what's great and let go of what isn't working. Hold a vision of the solution that you desire. Be patient and trust that recovery is occurring in its own time and way. So, whoever is watching this, coming across this, you are in some way, shape, or form a medicine man or woman, and but you need to heal yourself. You're meant to help heal people of the world, the people around you. But first, to do that, you have to be healed within yourself. So usually, you know, to do this, you need to take time and go into hermit mode, like I like to say, like the hermit card in the tarot. You need time to time of solitude to be able to think without all the commotion going on in the world around you. Just time to reflect and go within and feel out what feels right and what doesn't feel right in your life. If you have a job or a friendship or some family relation or romantic relation that doesn't feel good, it's better to let go of it than hang on to it and keep trying to fix it. If you're that person that's been in that job or relationship and over you have tried to make things better, but it just doesn't feel good or feel right anymore, then it's time to let go. Sometimes the healing isn't in the fixing, but the letting go. And sometimes relationships, if they're meant to be, they'll come back to you. You know, maybe it's just not the right time right now. Maybe that relationship or that job served its purpose and what you needed at the time, but now it doesn't. It kind of is creating a blockage to your flow moving forward. So you need to go within and feel out those things, and you'll know intuitively. Like when I think about things that don't feel good, like I had a job that I loved for years, and I might have talked about this in another video, But then it got to a point after almost 10 years is that it just didn't feel going to work anymore. I used to love to wake up and go to my job because I really enjoyed my job. I loved what I did. And then it kind of became a toxic atmosphere with changing of people that were at this workplace, and it didn't feel good anymore. And it took a lot for me to let go and move on because I got paid well. I had 8 weeks of paid time off that I could use for vacation, sick time, whatever I needed. It was a great team that I worked with, but then it kind of changed. And so I think I hung on to it because I wanted what used to be, but it just wasn't that anymore. So I went for a long time really being just angry. And I think people at work noticed how angry I was. And I looked at myself and thought, why am I so angry and mean to people? This is not me. Like, I'm a naturally happy-go-lucky, kind, warm-hearted person that just wants to help everybody. And I didn't give a fuck about anybody. It was like, I was just nasty. That's how I became, because that's what that toxic energy did to me. So when I finally realized I had a bad day where I got really angry at somebody, I thought, I cannot be here anymore. This environment is so toxic to me. It is not helping me grow. It is hindering me, and I need to let go. So I put in my resignation, and I had to do, I think it was 30 days for that job, resignation, not knowing where it was going to go, but a job popped up for me. The universe always has your back. Something will pop up. I'm not saying just leave your job without any plan. That's what I did, but it felt right. So if you're going to do something, leave a relationship or leave a job, and it feels right, do what feels right. For me, when I'm thinking about it, I like to do a little meditation, sit alone with no radio, no music, no nothing, maybe like a little spiritual music in the background, whatever calms your mind, so that I could just focus within and really feel in my heart what is the right thing to do. And when I get an answer, like when I'm thinking of things, a yes answer to me, I always feel that happiness in my heart. Like, yes, this is the right thing to do. And when it's not the right thing to do, I kind of feel, and I kind of feel it down in my stomach, And you can train yourself for these yes or no answers, because your soul, your higher self, has the answers for you. They have the wisdom to come up with the answers, because they, what I believe is you've lived many lifetimes. And even though in this avatar, it's maybe a new lifetime in this avatar, your higher self or your soul has a lifetimes of experience to pull from. So you have to go within and connect with your higher self. And to do this, to train yourself to do this, think about times where you made a good decision and everything turned out good, and you were like, yes, that was the right decision to make. How did you feel? Like, you're going to feel, different people feel it differently, but me, when I get like a yes answer, it's like, I feel it in my heart. It's like, oh, thank goodness, I knew that was going to happen. And you ever notice, like, when you kind of, thank goodness, you like instinctively grab your chest? I see a lot of people do that. And then when it's a no, like, some people be like, oh, like this, or holding onto the stomach like, oh, I can't believe I did that. So think of something really stupid that you did that was embarrassing, that didn't go well at all, and it was a really bad decision. Where did you feel it? Did you be like, oh my God, I can't believe I did that? Or was it, holy shit, what am I going to do now? I'm in big trouble. That feeling. Go with that. So that's your no, and the other is your yes. So you are somebody here that is meant to be a healer, to touch other people's lives. You're here for a higher purpose. To be able to help other people heal themselves, you first have to heal yourself. So go within, find the answers of what you need to let go of, what you need to heal, and journal about it. You're going to find a lot of stuff when you journal. You can think things in your brain, but you really don't absorb it until you write it down. So, and I find that when I journal and write things down, it's not things I thought of. Sometimes I look back at my journal, and that's a good thing to do too if you're journaling. Review, and I'll look at things and go, wow, I don't even remember writing that. And those are really good words of wisdom, what I wrote there. And oh, that was really good insight. Did I write that? Sometimes spirit just starts channeling through you, or your higher self starts channeling through you. And as you write and thoughts flow, you'll come up with things that will help you that you wouldn't think of if you're just sitting there thinking. So journal about what's not working in your life, what needs to heal, and then come up with a plan of how you're going to do it, and go with what feels good. Okay, so after Medicine Woman, we had Shapeshifter and Ego Medicine. Let's go with Ego Medicine because it sticks with the medicine thing. So eagle medicine, wow. Look at that. Beautiful mountains. Reminds me of Montana and the eagles there. Soaring high over the mountains, bird's eye view. Getting a bird's eye view, is that not a different perspective? So I'm going to guess that eagle medicine is taking a different perspective on life and having that bird's eye view. Like everything is within sight. You just got to get up there to see it. Where did I put my book? Ah, okay. Eagle medicine. Let's look it up. Eagle medicine. Put on the old lady glasses so I can read. Profound connection to the Creator and the heavenly realms. As the eagle soars high above the earth, it has the ability to see things from a higher perspective. Oh, was I not right? I love it when I'm right. Courage and stamina are filling your life. You have the ferocity to right injustice and wrongs done to you or others. This is the time to face fear and overcome it. All right, I'm already getting a message there. I don't know if I should keep reading or, well, no, I'm just going to give the message because I'll forget it after. So in looking within and seeing what needs to be healed or fixed and being able to move on from a relationship or a job, it's scary. You know, what you know, and if you're in a job or relationship, you're comfortable because you know it. And so it's comfortable, even though it might be toxic and not what you need and doesn't feel good, you're comfortable because it's what you know. What you don't know is always scary. The unknown is always scary. But if you don't take that leap of faith into the unknown, you're never going to know what's better. Like, for example, oh, I can hear the horses out there. They're so cute. For example, if you're in a shitty job and you really hate this job and you want to leave, but you're afraid to because you've got bills to pay, a family to take care of, and you don't know if you can find another job. What if you knew that you had another job waiting and it paid better and the people were nicer and it was more fun and you actually look forward to going to it every day? Would you go? Of course you would go. So, but you don't know. That's the thing. Like, you don't know if that new job is going to be better or if you're going to get paid more until you actually reach out and apply for a new job. So if you're in a bad job, what they're saying is unless you take that leap of faith and go with it and go past that fear, everything you want is right on the other side of fear. You have to get over that fear of not knowing what's going to happen to be able to make your life better and bring in what you want. I want to start, my ultimate plan is to start a retreat somewhere either near the beach or in the mountains. And I'm going to do it by phasing out my current job and moving into that. So that's my plan. So instead of just like quitting my job and going to do and open the retreat right away, which is why it's taken me so long to find a house, because I want to find someplace really beautiful and relaxing. I'm using my work right now, which I still love. There's some things I don't like because I'm a locums nurse practitioner and I travel a lot, so I don't like being away from home, but it's a trade-off. So you don't have to quit your job to go to another one. If you're starting to feel uncomfortable, start looking, because chances are if you put it out there to the universe and say, hey, spirit, or hey, God, or whatever higher entity you believe in, I'm really unhappy in my job and I'm looking for something that has this, this, and this. Can you help me find something? It's going to pop up. Like things, it's a synchronicity. Things will pop up at the right time, and I love one of my YouTubers, Baba Jolie. Check her out. She's freaking awesome. She always says that rejection is redirection and protection. So maybe you don't find the right job, you're rejected, you say, all right, I'm going to get out of this shitty job or this, whatever, and I'm going to get this job, and you go and interview and they don't want you. Well, you've been rejected, but maybe that's the universe's way of redirecting you and protecting you, because there's something even better further down the line. It's just not the right time, not the right job, but it's going to come. So keep the faith, know that the universe has your back, and take that leap of faith. Everything you want is on the other side of fear. All right, so going on, eagle medicine. Your native spirit wants you to know, if the eagle medicine card has chosen you, you are at the advent of opportunity to truly see life from a rarefied vantage point. Eagles are considered one of the most sacred of all birds in many tribes and cultures. Their single-minded fierceness, dynamic energy, and ability to soar high are part of the reason for this. This card reminds you to take heart and face fear. You do indeed have the strength to overcome any adversity. You also have a direct line to the Creator. Your prayers are heard and will be answered in accordance with your highest good. In accordance with your highest good. They want me to reiterate that. So things don't always come in the package you expect. It'll come in the way that's for your highest good. You have the capacity to channel extraordinary life force energy through your hands. The journey. Go on an inner journey and imagine that you're an eagle. Feel the power of your wings, the clarity of your eyesight, and the power of your talons. As you do this, be aware of the energy of the majestic eagle filling you. Oh, I actually have a really good meditation I should post. That's kind of like an eagle flying through to discover what you want. That'll be an upcoming video. Watch for that. Finding your journey to the life that you desire. All right, so be the eagle, soar high, take advantage of your vantage point in life and your strength, and take that leap of faith. Shapeshifter. It's funny because we had the sunset over here, and right now we got Shapeshifter that's under the full moon. Oh, I like that card too. That's a whole different kind of energy, isn't it, from this one? Look at this energy, and then look at that. Like the nightlife is a whole different energy after the sun sets. I work nights. I'm a night shifter person. Anyway, Shapeshifter. And I'm looking at my nails look horrible. I changed the oil in my generator yesterday, and I can just never have a manicure and look nice. I'm too busy saving money doing stuff on my own to have pretty nails. Maybe next time. Nope, that's smudging ceremony. H. Okay, Shapeshifter. Card meaning. You can be anything you desire. Let go of attachment to your identity. See the world around you with new eyes. Well, that kind of coincides with this. Letting go of attachment and seeing the world from a different viewpoint. Be malleable, meaning be flexible. Experiment with different ways of viewing reality. Just like the eagle, look at it from a different standpoint. Maybe something that you want is not exactly as you're envisioning it. Maybe it can be done differently. So experiment with the different ways of viewing reality. See the point of view of others. If you haven't been able to manifest your dreams, maybe you need to shift the way you see the person or the situation. So you're trying to manifest and things aren't happening. Rejection is redirection and projection. So try to look at it from others' point of view. Like, I have 3 daughters and all of them think very differently. And my oldest one has this way of viewing things that is very different from the way I view things. And whenever I need help in a situation, I mean, my daughter's my daughter, but she's an adult and we're good friends, and she's a whole other human being. And I enjoy that she has this different perspective from me. So I love to bounce things off of her and say, hey, you know, blah, 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 what do you think? And then she'll go, well, did you look at it this way? And she has a whole different view of things that I didn't even think of, which I think is great. And so you have your tribe of people around you. You know, if you have friends or co-workers that you respect and they think differently from you, you know, you don't have all the same opinions, bounce ideas off of them. Ask them what they think and get the view of others. Like, and try to be in other shoes and see how they view you. Like, maybe if you're in a crappy relationship, maybe part of the problem is something that you're doing. So try to put yourself in the other person's shoes and see you, not the way you see you, but the way they see you. What needs to give or what needs to change? What do you need to do differently to make things better? All right. Your native spirit wants you to know, in earth-based cultures, shapeshifters have the mystical ability to transform into other forms of consciousness. It's said that these beings were not imagining that they were changing into a specific animal, plant, or stone. They could actually morph into another shape. Just because most people today don't think this is possible doesn't mean that it's not true. This card shows you because it wants you to know that your past does not need to equal your future. Simply shifting your point of view or your belief system can bring an entirely new destiny into being. That kind of brings up religion, which is a touchy subject for people. Everybody has their own beliefs, but let's say, for example, you were brought up in a certain religion because that's the religion your parents were, and that's the religion their parents were, and so on, right? So maybe you view the world in a certain way based on your religious beliefs, but are those truly your beliefs? Like, for example, I was brought up Christian, Lutheran to be exact. And when I went to college, I went to a university that was a Catholic university. And we were required to take 4 religious courses. And the first thing I thought was, ugh, I'm going to have to take 4 Catholic courses. I was brought up Lutheran, and Catholics were like a whole different thing. And I don't know, I guess I didn't respect it because it wasn't what I was brought up to believe. And I just felt it was too tedious. You had to, pray to certain people or saints and do the rosary and all. It just seemed like a really tedious kind of thing for religion. But then when I got there, I was actually really surprised and my eyes were open because the religious courses that we took, we had a choice of all the religions. And so I took one on Judaism and Hinduism. I took one with the Muslim religion. I took another one, and some of them were combined, Buddhism, Taoism. I learned like 6 or 7 different religions outside of my own. And what I began to realize was, oh, am I Christian and I believe in this just because that's what I was told was true? What about the other person who was brought up, Muslim, and they believe in this other thing that doesn't coincide with Christianity, and that's true? Is it really true? Or is it just because that's how we were brought up? So I like to keep my mind open. I'm not dissing any religion. Form your own opinions. But my personal take from all of that, seeing all the different things, was I saw kind of a yarn weaving through all the different religions that kind of was like, gave me a perspective of, wow, in all the 4 corners of the earth, there was a master teacher. There was Buddha, there was Muhammad, there was Jesus. And what they all seemed to teach was leading a life based from love, doing everything with kindness from the heart, with love. And, the golden rule of do unto others as you'd have them do unto you. So I feel like the world got kind of mixed up where the universe or source or God or Allah or whatever you want to call him sent us an example of how we're supposed to live. And men got so caught up in writing it down in a book that they missed the whole grand picture, which is basically to lead a life, and everything you do should be from love, not from anger, not from hate. So that's my belief. And so just because you were brought up a certain way, don't let that limit you, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I'm talking about your future. Form your own beliefs. Look at everything. Try to look at it from others' perspective and form your own beliefs about the way things are so that you're not limiting yourself in what you can do and the relationships that you can form. Okay, let's see what else this card says. So that came from simply shifting your point of view or your belief system can bring an entirely new destiny into being, which made my shift in reality, like my reality, that brought a whole new world to me. It opened up a whole new world of things. The journey. To deepen your ability to shapeshift, simply imagine that you're an animal, bird, plant, or stone. Make it as real as you can. Doing this deepens your ability to shift your beliefs and limiting decisions that perhaps have held you back from fulfilling your highest destiny. Take that as it is. Like, for example, I cannot hurt an animal. I saw kids when I was little that would shoot birds with BB guns and they thought it was fun, but I'm highly empathic and I've had this, master ability to put myself in another living thing's perspective. And what if you were that bird being shot at? You're just minding your own damn business, sitting on a telephone line, and bang, somebody shoots you for nothing. What'd you do? So that's my simple truth, putting myself into another thing's perspective. So you can do that with a meditation. That'll give you a different outlook on the world, and you'll start to see things much differently. We're all on this earth for a reason. Oh, that's my daughter laughing in the background. Hang on a second. Pause. Alyssa, I can hear you. I don't know what she's watching. She's closed in my room and she's watching something. So I began to realize that we're all connected in this world. Like, you see all these stones I have here. When I pick up these stones in my hand, like, which one do I want to pick up? This one. Like, this one was from Russia, and it's actually from a meteorite. When I pick these stones up in my hands, I can actually feel their vibration, and it's actually scientifically, you can measure the vibration of a stone. Like, even like precious stones like diamonds, amethysts, and so on, they have a vibrational energy to them. And so they say that different stones can have different effect on you. So I surround myself with the things that I feel like I need. Like right now I'm wearing a morganite stone, and it has a vibration of love, and I wear it on a necklace so it's close to my heart chakra, because I need some healing in my heart for some things that I've had going on in my life. So I know you might think it's funny to imagine yourself as a stone or an animal, but when you start doing this, you'll start looking at the world differently, realizing that we're all connected. Every single one of us, you know, the trees, the plants, the animals, the other people on this planet, we're all connected, and everything that you do affects the world around you. So try to imagine yourself as that tree outside, or the bird on the telephone wire, or your cat laying on the couch, and see things from their point of view, to try to get that perspective so you can see how we're all connected. Okay. And do you hear the roosters? The roosters confirming what I said. He concurs. All right, Ancient Forest. Love this card. Oh, you know what's so funny? Oh, I didn't realize it. Take a look at this card. It was so dark. Well, I see lavender. Lavender is very soothing, but I don't know if you can see over here. I didn't notice in the shadow. There's an elk. Looks like an elk. Or a buck. Standing there in the shadow. I didn't even know he was there. Shapeshifter, sneaky little guy. Coming out after dark. Yeah, beautiful. All right, on to the next. Ancient Forest. Ancient Forest. Look at that peaceful place. You know what that reminds me of? The Appalachian Trail. I am a lover of the Appalachian Trail. So I love this card because it kind of connects with all of this, getting out in nature, connecting with nature, connecting with the world that we're all a part of, and how we're all connected. Look at the trees, right? You just see the tops of the trees, but what about the roots underneath? Those trees are pretty close. Those roots are all connected, and they're communicating. Everything is touching something else around it and has an effect on what it's touching. So that's you as a human being traveling through life. Everything that you're connected to, that you touch, you have an effect on, you know? So you got to be careful, the energy that you put out there, because you can negatively affect somebody, and it can make a world of difference in their life, either good or bad, right? Okay, let's see what the book has to say. Find the book again. I put the book down. Oh, here it is over here. I should put it in the same place so I can find it. Ancient Forest. So that reminds me of the Appalachian Trail, because for the last 6 years I've been hiking sections of the Appalachian Trail. I always wanted to do the whole thing, and I just never took the time to do it when I was younger, because my life went in a whole different direction. But I love the Appalachian Trail, because when I'm out on the trail, and I'll go out there a lot by myself, I have a couple ladies that I like hiking with, and they'll come together for, you know, we'll do part of a section together or a whole section together. But I do like, even when we're together, it's walk your own walk. You know, we're all on a journey in life. We're on separate journeys together. And it's kind of like when you go with a hiking partner, one might go faster than the other, and you plan where you're going to stop, how far apart you're going to let each other get. We don't try to get too far apart, because we like to be within hollowing distance, just in case somebody has an emergency. But when you're hiking your own hike and you're by yourself and you're just taking step after step, that's where I find I do my best thinking, because there's literally nothing else to do. So it's kind of a form of meditation for me. And I talk to other people on the trail, and they feel the same way. Like, you get some introspection on your life and some direction that you're not going to get at any other time, because you go so deep in the thinking, and it's just this flow of emotions. Like, my grandmother had passed away the one year, and she passed away in September. And I want to say it was the next spring that I went hiking, and I kept seeing hearts everywhere, and I was seeing cardinals where I shouldn't have seen cardinals. Like, it wasn't the normal time of year or place for cardinals to be. And cardinals remind me of my grandmother. And so God bless you. Everywhere I went, like there was like something on the tree that was shaped like a heart, or there was a big boulder shaped like a heart, or there was a stone on the ground shaped like a heart. I was seeing hearts everywhere. And I was going through a hard time in my relationship. And I had actually gone hiking by myself on purpose so I could reflect on where I wanted my relationship to go and decisions I was going to make. And, you know, it was just Spirit telling me that I'm not walking the path alone, even though I felt very alone for a minute, that Spirit was with me. And the cardinals that kept going, and they weren't acting like normal, like they were stopping and looking at me, flying ahead, stopping a branch and looking at me. I wasn't feeding them or anything. They were kind of following me. And it was funny because I came out to a fantastic view. I came up this mountain and it was an ass kicker coming up. And the pack I was carrying was pretty heavy. I would bring all kinds of stuff I don't need, but I just want, you know, like my journals and books and stuff like that. So my pack's a little bit heavier than it should be. So I get to the top and it was really a rewarding view. And I took a picture. I was like, oh, I can't wait to show Nana, my Nana. Because anytime I went on an adventure and took pictures and everything, I always come back and tell my Nana, because she was in her 90s and you know, she couldn't really get out and do things anymore. And my grandfather, when they were younger, traveled a lot. They were big adventurers like I am, you know, always ready to pack a suitcase and go see another place. And so I enjoyed sharing my adventures with her, and she enjoyed them. And it was funny because I thought, oh, I can't wait to show Nana. And then I realized, oh, Nana's dead. And then I started to cry. And so I'm walking, and anyway, so you're walking on this path and you're by yourself thinking, and all these emotions will come up. Like I cried when my grandmother passed, but I really don't think I felt the depth of her passing. She had been in my life my entire life. And I think when she died, I was in my late 40s. Yeah, I think I was in my late 40s. And I look good for my age, don't I? And so to be without her, I didn't realize the depth of what it meant to be without her. And she had a lot of knowledge and wisdom that she shared with me. Like when I had problems, she was somebody I could talk to. So anyway, when you go on a journey like that, it's a real eye-opener. You're going to have emotions come to the surface that you didn't even realize were there, you know, problems or ways to solve problems that will come up that you never thought of. So going on a journey in a forest like this and being surrounded by nature, the birds chirping, the crickets, you know, an occasional bear passing by, and you know, just the rich oxygen from all the plants around you, the smells, it's just absolutely amazing. It's just it's refreshing, it's cleansing for your soul. So think about doing something like that. If you have like some serious decisions to make, think about going on a hike, even if it's just a day hike. You know, if you're not a backpacker, I don't advise just running out and hiking the Appalachian Trail with no kind of knowledge of your experience. Not safe. You are out in the wild, and you know there's nobody right there to save you if something goes wrong. So definitely read up and get some knowledge, and maybe go with somebody else that has experience before you go, or just go on a day walk, a day hike where you can be by yourself safely and give yourself a chance to kind of cleanse your soul. But let's see what the book says about it. Your roots go deep. Incredible, radiant, healing strength is available to you and grows within you. Do not doubt your abilities. You're so much more than you can possibly imagine. There's immense, unseen, but very real support around you. You are loved and cherished. You are grounded, stable, and strong as your spirit reaches high into the heavens. Kind of like the trees. Trees are reaching up to the heavens. They've got roots. Those roots are keeping them grounded. That's the same as you. If you don't feel grounded, get grounded. I posted another video with a meditation on regrounding yourself. So your native spirit wants you to know, throughout the world, those in indigenous cultures revere what are called tree people. The powerful life force of trees can bring healing, strengthening, and grounding energies. The kind of tree might vary from culture to culture, but the reverence and gratitude for its beneficial energies are the same. The ancient forest is alive with nature's spirits. Additionally, each tree has an individual spirit especially powerful and resilient. The forest can survive the harshest conditions because of the mutual support of the spirit of the entire forest. Your greatest strength is silent and deep. It doesn't need a show of force, it just is. Inner power is found through contemplation, reflection, and meditation. Sometimes it comes from times of growth and change. Other times it springs from surviving and conquering painful situations. So there's the power, they're saying the power of the trees, that their roots grow deep, that it has its own spirit, and it's surrounded by trees that are like itself, also grounded in the same earth with it, that also has spirit. And together there's like a collective consciousness, collective spirit, collective strength. And that's how we are in the world. Connect to your tribe of people. Find people that are like-minded, that you connect with, that you can literally just be yourself and not have to act all prim and proper and be on your best behavior. And know that they're going to love you for the way you are naturally. And that tribe of people is your collective spirit that's going to support you and help you get through some of the hardest times in your life. And also, like I said before, help bring ideas and a different perspective on things that you might not have seen before. So, to take that leap of faith, to cross that line of fear, you don't have to show a fierce force. You just have to know that you are a force. You are a creative force. You are your creative force. You are the creator in your life, and you can literally create anything you want from your power that you find within. And to find that power, you need to get out in nature and get grounded, and maybe take a little sabbatical and go for a long hike, or a long day walk, and get in touch with your inner self and bring up those emotions you need to bring up, to bring up those fears that you have, what's keeping you from moving forward in your life, and face those fears, and then step right over them. Just step right on them, squash them, and move forward. Okay, so let's see, the journey. Adopt a tree. It can be one in your yard or one in a nearby park or wilderness area. Talk to the tree, touch its bark, give thanks, and by doing so you create an energy connection that will continue to nurture you, no matter how far away you are from your adopted tree. So this is really funny because I have an adopted tree. So my first house, the first house that I bought not because I liked the house. The house was a little ranch and it was in dilapidated condition and needed a lot of love. But I bought the house because I loved the tree in the front yard. It would literally take 3 people, maybe 4, holding hands around it. That's how big around it was. This tree was a good 100 years old. And when I pulled in the driveway, just with its flowing branches and how big it was and how sturdy it was and how long it had been there, that was my rock right there. That is what I needed. This house was going to be my home. And I don't even think I was really that spiritual then. It was when I just started going to university and I had a young family, but I sensed that somehow that tree was meant for me, and I connected with that tree. And sometimes when I would have bad nights or even good nights, or just want to be grateful for the day, I would go out and sit by that tree. I would hug the tree. Sometimes when I would stumble home drunk, because I was walking distance from the bars in the summertime when I was young, I was in my late 20s when I got that house. I would hug that tree because I love that tree so much. The energy from that tree, you could feel the energy from that tree. So get in touch with nature. That will help you connect you to Mother Earth and help you get grounded, to get in touch with yourself. So your story is, you are a medicine man or woman. You have the ability to reach out and heal those around you. But first you need to get in touch with your inner self and heal yourself. Try to put yourself in other people's shoes, because, like me, I have a very different outlook on life. I'm very spiritual. It doesn't mean I'm not Christian. I still believe in Jesus, but I also believe, in some of the ascended masters from the other religions. So, I believe in all of them. And so I have a very different perspective. So, but I don't expect you to believe the same thing I do, so I'm not going to push just my beliefs. You have to put yourself in other people's shoes and be able to see what their culture or beliefs are, to be able to help them. You can't force your beliefs on somebody. So sometimes you have to understand where a person's coming from in order to help them heal. But I'll give you an example, because people make assumptions about people just because of the way they appear in front of them. It's like judging a book by a cover, but in a different way. So I worked in downtown Buffalo, New York, which was a large African-American population, and I'm blonde hair, blue-eyed, and I was very young when I started working at this trauma center. And there was a lady that She was maybe about 10 years older than me. She was a nurse, and she could be very thoughtful and kind, but she was very angry. And I couldn't understand like why she was so angry until I heard the background she came from. She came from a very, very hard background growing up. She really had to fight for everything she had in a different way that I did. And there were family dynamics there that I found it after. You know, at first I thought, God, why is she such a fucking bitch? You know, she's so mean. But then I found out about things she did and how she helped, you know, with members of her family. I think she had actually adopted like her cousin's children or something. I can't remember the whole story, but it was like, I wouldn't have expected that of her because she was just such a hard and mean person sometimes. But I think it's because of her experiences in life, what it brought her. And in her experience, white people were privileged, and in a lot of places they are, unfortunately. But that wasn't the case with me. You know, my dad was an alcoholic, and he was a mean one at that. And I spent plenty of nights under the bed with my sister crying while, you know, in the hallway and our bedroom door was open. My dad had come home drunk, and mom and dad were fighting, and mom was getting thrown up against the wall, and brother was trying to rescue, and he was getting thrown up against a wall. And so my mother luckily was a very strong woman and was able to get out of that relationship, marriage, before it affected us too greatly. And it took a lot of strength from her part. And so growing up, my mom was working like sometimes 3 jobs at a time just to put food on the table. So I didn't come from a silver spoon family. I came from a hardworking family that worked for everything they have. So this woman had made assumptions about me being white, blonde hair, blue eyes, and being in the position that I was, making good money. What she didn't know was the fight that I had to go through myself, with not 1 but 2 bad marriages, and raising my children. I kind of like my mom. I had 3 children, raising them on my own, working so many jobs. There was a point in my life I only got 2 or 3 hours of sleep before I had to get up and either go to school or go to work. And I made assumptions about her until I heard about, you know, her past and her family and things that she actually did that were actually very generous and very kind-hearted. And so don't judge a book by its cover. Try to put yourself in another person's shoes and their perspective. If you're a healer and you want to help somebody, first you got to know the person's culture and their perspective on life, and where they are, like how they got there and why they're there, in order to help. So don't be too quick to make assumptions or judgments. Sometimes helping people is just having that ear and letting them talk, and then not giving unsolicited advice. Wait for them to ask you for advice. You know, sometimes it's just the listening that you need to do. And healers tend to be the people that people in need of help gravitate to. For example, I go into a supermarket and I'll come out 2 hours later with somebody's whole life story. And in the end of the story, you know, they're asking me, what should they do? And they're like, oh my God, I don't even know why I'm telling you this. I don't even know. And I just take their hand and I say, that's okay. Everything, you know, you've said, blah, 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 whatever, some words of wisdom if I can give it. But sometimes just having somebody to vent to and say things out loud helps people put everything into perspective. And in doing so, they're helping themselves. So work on yourself, see what healing you need to do, and then go out there and be a light worker and heal the world. Okay? Love you guys. See ya. Bye.